$1,400 fourth stimulus check update as economy crumbles. We have got all the important details right here in this video, so without a further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so as we all know, economy is crumbling and there is a lot of details about what is currently going on, what we need to know, and recently Congress has talked about automatic stabilizers. Threshold is the way to determine the worst case scenario of the economy and trigger the stimulus check at that point. But it's not terribly far off either from what I can tell. The idea behind automatic stabilizers to give our people a cushion that they need so that they are not struggling as much as if economy does take a downturn. When the unemployment rate rises above certain threshold, usually between 6 to 7.5%, government will automatically implement certain measures to help out the economy. This might include distributing stimulus check, passing a law, or appropriating more money, allocating more money to stimulus check. In order to prevent Congress from having come together each and every time to act on economic crisis, instead what they have stabilizers, you call it autopilot system that will work without any intervention. When it reaches certain threshold, automatically economic stimulus will be released, which are essentially automatic checks, automatic stimulus check. And today I want to provide you all the details about current state of the economy, where we currently stand regarding the federal fourth stimulus check. Alright guys, so speaking of the details what's currently going on, as you may know, this year has been very busy and uncertain times. There have been a lot of weird things happening throughout the year and basically in the second half of the year. Congress has talked about the idea of the automatic stabilizer, which also called automatic stimulus check, the mechanism to send out automatic stimulus check. An idea behind this is that if unemployment rate goes too high, then we'll send out an automatic $1,400 stimulus check. Honestly, this is a great way to help out people to stay afloat, stay safe during this very uncertain times, and make sure everybody has the money that they need to stay top of their basic necessities, bills, afford basic necessities. And I think it's a fantastic idea that should be implemented. Now speaking of the automatic stabilizers, why they are so important to our economy. As you may know, economy has been in a very uncertain state over the past few years. Government has been printing tons and tons of money and sending it in the form of stimulus check in order to provide some financial relief to the citizens. But why this is exactly going on? You know what? Automatic stabilizers are the mechanisms basically used by government to ensure when economy goes into the recession, it don't crash on its knees and just burn endlessly. By providing money to the people, government knows that it will be spent right here into the economy, and again it will help stimulate the economy very rapidly. So that's the benefit of sending out automatic stabilizers. And this is not new concept. This has been done multiple times in the past, with most recent being in 2020 and 2021. Government literally printed $6 trillion over the course of 14 months in order to get money into the economy quickly. And this is the reason why concept of automatic stabilizer is so much important. In past couple of months, we have seen a lot of interesting economic activity thanks to the implementation of automatic stabilizers. Without those in place, recession could have been much worse than it already was. Now, when it comes down to the economy, by providing money to the people, government is able to help stabilize the economy and prevent it from literally crashing. So far this year, we have seen some major financial events like bank crashing over the course of 48 hours. And this is a sign that bank crash we saw earlier is likely to continue in the second half of this year. Second major event, Federal Reserve has been aggressively raising the interest rate since the beginning of the last year. Now this means all the interest rate increase we saw last year have started to have an effect onto the economy, and it takes long amount of time all of these changes to work the way through the system. And now we are starting to see all those effects of the economy, all the adverse effect of those interest rate hikes, the inflation and all that. Now we need to be aware of what's really going on into the economy and pay attention to the changes which are taking in place. It's important to keep eye on the latest news and be aware of how changes will be going to affect us. Economy is very complicated system that can change very suddenly when it comes down to recession. So it's very important to be prepared for what future may hold for you. When economy is strong, jobs are being created, unemployment rate is typically low. This is the sign of a healthy economy. However, when there is a recession or economic contraction or probably in that scenario, jobs are lost, businesses close down, bankruptcies occur, and the unemployment rate rises. That is why unemployment rate is so important indicator. It tells us about a lot about the health of the economy. It's a major factor when it comes down to the Congress, how they determine. Congress usually looks at when it comes down to determine whether economy needs stimulus or not. But you really have to ask yourself, why does economy suddenly start to collapse, decline? This is bit like, you know what, rolling a ball down a hill. It's bit like a snowball rolling down the hill. So initially it's small to start with, but as it rolls down the hill, it gathers a lot of snow and basically gathers more snow on it. And ultimately, when it reaches down, it will be a huge rolling ball down the hill. It's kind of the same with that example. It takes a long time to decline, but when it does, it can take a lot of toll on those businesses. It can have a huge impact on businesses and workers. That is why it's so important to monitor the economy and stay up to date regarding the unemployment rate and how it will affect us, the economy, and our benefits. And right now, it seems like economy is still relatively strong because unemployment rate is still low. But you know what? This is a lagging indicator, which means it's a reflection of the past data rather than the present one. Last time we saw unemployment rate was very low, I think in the back in the 60s. While historically low unemployment rate generally is a good thing, it also means that we already hit the bottom and there is only one way to go, that is the up. That is basically increase from that point. And we are already seeing some signs of this happening with people being laid off, businesses closing down, bankruptcies becoming more common thing these days. And despite all this, I'm curious about the reports, the numbers. These are some of the strong indicators coming out. So what's really happening behind the scenes? This is very important to take a look at. One of the possibility is that the current numbers could be slightly overinflated due to the factors such as seasonal workers and temporary jobs. But this could mean that true unemployment rate is actually higher than what is being reported. And definitely, if that is the case, we'll see spike into the data in near future. On other hand, job market could be more resilient than we think, then it could stay stronger despite the current challenges. Well, the truth is, only time will tell the difference. How economy and unemployment rate will come out in the upcoming months, data will tell us. And it seems that it's strange that economies continue to look strong when we are seeing reports that huge corporations are laying out thousands and thousands of people. Definitely, this makes me kind of a question if numbers are accurate or whether they are inflated or what kind of thing going on. Regardless, Congress discussed implementation of something called automatic stabilizers. Basically, if the unemployment rate reaches a certain threshold, automatic check would be sent out, and it's a pretty cool idea. I would say it's a really great way to help out people who need the help, the much needed financial support. Threshold is the way to determine the worst case scenario of the economy and trigger the stimulus check at that point. But it's not terribly far off either from what I can tell. The idea behind automatic stabilizers to give out people a cushion that they need so that they are not struggling as much as if economy does take a downturn. When the unemployment rate rises above certain threshold, usually between 6 to 7.5%, government will automatically implement certain measures to help out the economy. This might include distributing stimulus check, passing a law, or appropriating more money, allocating more money to stimulus check. In order to prevent Congress from having come together each and every time to act on economic crisis, instead what they have stabilizers, you call it autopilot system that will work without any intervention. When it reaches certain threshold, automatically economic stimulus will be released. Now when it comes down to the fourth stimulus check, whether it's $1,400, $1,200, or any dollar value for that matter, you know what, time will tell whether we'll get stimulus check or not. So that's why I'm keeping close attention on all the key indicators, all the important numbers that will determine whether we'll get sports stimulus check or not. So make sure to hit that like, share this video, subscribe to our channel for all the latest details. And this is Kedar from How to Guys. See you in the next video.